Namaste everybody. In my previous video, I explained some of the paragraphs of the story in the Kingdom of Fools. So, first of all, let us recap some of the important points, then we shall proceed to the next paragraph. So, you have seen in this story that in the Kingdom of Fools, the king and the minister were idiots. They ordered all things to be changed. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. And they ordered people to do day's work in night and sleep in the day. Anyone not obeying was to be punished with death. So people out of fear did as they were asked to do by the king and their minister. So this delighted the king and the minister also. Once a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. They found everyone asleep during the day. No activity was observed. It shocked them. They wandered till evening. Then the people woke up. They started doing their nightly business. Now the two were hungry. They bought some food items. The price of everything was same, a single dudu. This surprised and delighted them. The Guru realized that it was really kingdom of fools. The Guru decided to leave the city of fools, so he asked his disciple also to leave the place, but the disciple did not want to do so for cheap food, and he was greedy also. The Guru advised the disciple that nothing could be predicted of fools, but the disciple did not care. He remained behind. Time passed on. The disciple ate to his fill. As a result, he became very fat. It means he started eating ghee, rice, banana, and he became very fat. One day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He was taking out the stolen things. Just then, the wall of the house fell on his head. He was killed at that time. The brother of the thief complained to the king about his death. He blamed the owner of the house for his brother's death. Now, let us proceed to the next paragraph of this story. The king said, "The justice will be done. Don't worry," and at once summoned the owner of the house. Here, the king told to the brother of the thief that the justice will be done, and he called the owner of the house. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What's your name?" "Such and such, your highness." It means the merchant told his name. And the king further asked, "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" He replied, "Yes, my lord, he broke in and the wall was big, it fell on him." So here the merchant replied that, "Yes, that man burgled into my house and the wall was weak, it fell on him." The accused pleads guilty. Here the merchant accepts his guilt. It means fault. The king said, "Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." So here the king directly blamed the merchant that you have killed a man, so we have to punish you. "Lord," said the helpless merchant. Now the merchant, it means the trader, has become helpless, and he told to the king that I did not put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He did not build it right. You should punish him. Now, here the merchant is telling that I did not put up the wall, and this is the fault of a man who built that wall. He did not build it right. So, you should punish him. So, here the merchant is telling to the king to punish the person who has made this wall. The king asked, who is that? My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. So here the merchant told to the king that this wall was built in his father's time, and he further said that he knew the man. He has become an old man and he lives nearby. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayers who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. So the king ordered his messenger to bring the bricklayer, a person who made the wall, and bricklayer is also called mason. So he was brought to the court of the king. His hands and feet were tied. You there, did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. Now the king asked from the bricklayer, did you build this man's wall? He replied, yes, I did. It means I made. What kind of wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. So here the king is blaming the bricklayer that you have made a very weak wall, and that weak wall killed a person, so you have murdered a person, so we have to punish you. Before the king could order the execution means capital punishment and to hang till death. The poor bricklayers pleaded means requested, please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good. But that was because of my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I could not keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. So here the bricklayer is telling to the king that please listen to me. He said that it's true that I built this wall and it was no good, but he told that it was not his fault. He further said that he remembered very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street when the bricklayer was making the wall. In that time a dancing girl was going up and down with her anklets jingling. Anklet means an ornament for the foot, and jingling means the sound that is produced by anklet. It means पायल की आवाज. So here the dancing girl was walking up and down with her anklets jinglings, and the sound of anklet distracted me, diverted my attention, and I could not make a good wall. So here the bricklayer is telling to the king that this is the fault of a dancing girl, and he further said that I know where she lives. The king said, you are right, the case deepens. It means the case has become very complicated. We must look into it. It means we must investigate it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. Let's get that dancer wherever she is. So now the king ordered to his man to call the dancer wherever she is. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Now the dancing girl, who has become very old, she was shivering, she was trembling, and she was called to the court. Now the king asked from her, "Did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him?" Here the king asked, "Did you walk up and down the street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall?" She replied, "Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him, so he built a bad wall." Now the king is telling to the dancing girl that you walk up and down with your anklets jinglings and you distracted the mind of that man. That is why he built a bad wall. Now it has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. So here the king directly telling to the dancing girl that you have killed an innocent man, so you will have to be punished. She thought for a minute and said, "My lord, wait. I know now why I was walking up and down that street." So now the dancing girl told to the king that, "Wait, let me remember. Let me tell you why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. He was a lazy scoundrel." Here, a scoundrel means dishonest person. "He made so many excuses," said he. "He would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all day. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. That was when this bricklayer saw me. It's not my fault, my lord. It's the damned goldsmith's fault." So here the lady, the dancing girl, is telling to the king that this is not my fault, this is the fault of a goldsmith, because I gave some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry, and the goldsmith was very busy. He was a dishonest person. He made so many excuses and he made me up and down many times, and that's why uh, I was walking up and down many times. It's not my fault, my lord. It's the damned goldsmith fault. So here the dancing girl is blaming to the goldsmith. So today I have discussed some of the paragraph. I hope you all will understand this story. I will explain the next paragraph in the next class. Thank you.